In this video, we're going to show you several ways to sharpen an image using the sharpening filters. So I have a landscape here of a meadow, and it's a nice picture, but it's not totally sharp and in focus. So we'll look at some different ways to sharpen the image, which basically is taking some blurry areas and making it more sharp and clear. All these options are under filters, and you will see there's a section for sharpening. Now the first three don't give you any options. They are preset amounts of sharpening. So if I click on sharpen, it will add a set amount of sharpening, gives it just a crisper look. So I'll undo that so we can see what each one looks like. The second one down sharpens edges. It's just a different way to sharpen, a little bit smoother, a little more subtle. Next one, sharpen more, is a large amount of sharpening. You can see really almost to the point of starting to distort the image a bit. And you can see this one you should be able to add more and more and more to it. You always want to be careful with sharpening that you're not overdoing it, because there will be a distorted look to the picture. This is more of a subtle adjustment. So you have a smart sharpen as well, which will give you some options, but most of the time the best one to use is the unsharp mask. And I know the name might be confusing. It's not actually unsharpening it is still a sharpening thing, but it gives you the most options that you can tweak as you do it. As you see here, we have a preview of what the sharpening is going to look like. And you have several things you can mess around with. One is the amount of sharpening, just generally how much are we applying. So if you go all the way to the left, you'll see it actually blurs the image a bit. And if you go all the way to the right, that's where you see that distortion and color disruption. So we don't want that. So be careful with the amount of sharpening you do. The radius and the threshold have to do with how the pixels are sharpened, and sort of the area around a pixel, the edges of each pixel, and then the cutoff level for the types of pixels and how the sharpening is happening. So if we turn this up just so you can see what's happening, as I bring the radius down or up, you can see what it does. Okay, actually with the radius high, it almost gives it a surreal look. And the threshold, as you bring that up, it'll cut off the amount of sharpening as well. So these three options together give you a good set of sliders to really sharpen the way that you want it to look. Okay, and that's the unsharp mask. We'll accept that. And just a reminder that with sharpening filters and any other adjustments you do, you can always use a selection to affect just that area. Say for instance we want just this area of flowers in the front to be sharpened. We'll put a selection there, and we can go ahead and add any sharpening. Let's add sharpen more, and you can see it only sharpens the area that is selected. I'll show you one more time just to illustrate the point. You can see just if I deselect, just in that selection is where it was affected, just like anything else. Okay, and that's how to use sharpening on images.